Okay, so good morning, guys. How are you doing?
Good.
As I said earlier, I'm so glad summer session is starting because it's getting boring. In spite of what you may believe, we have to be here 40 hours a week, just like any other job. So we don't get to come and go with our classes. So when we don't have classes, catch up on all your Netflix shows. That's that. So today's a good day for me. But anyway, welcome. My name is Dr. Patty, and I will be your guide for the next 6-ish weeks. I think it's 6 weeks. We kind of get a little bit shafted because all of the holidays traditionally fall on a Monday. And so that's us. And so we only meet like 4 times, maybe 5. We'll move the calendar in a second. But as you can see, I'm making a recording of our class. Okay? So for you guys, I kind of expect you to be here when we have class. Okay? We don't have it that many times, so it's kind of important. Not to mention the fact that this is, face-to-face class where we meet at 10 o'clock every Monday. And it has its advantages, guys, believe me. Yes, you can do the work and not show up, etc., etc., but it has its advantages showing up because you may hear something that you wouldn't have otherwise heard. Okay, even with the video, so we'll see what happens. And another reason I'm recording is because we also have 3 online classes tied into us as well. Okay, so they need the discussions that we're going to have, so to speak, and this saves me from having to do it many times. Okay? So I will record. This will appear, I'll announce in the class announcements when it's up. It should be up like today or tomorrow. I'm pretty quick with it, okay? So you should be able to tune in today or tomorrow to recap anything that you might have missed, or maybe you just want to see my face again, okay? It should be up. And like I said, I'll send you an announcement, an email reminder / announcement saying, hey, the video's up. Check it out or not. So today we're going to spend time getting you acclimated to the course materials in terms of the whats and the wheres and such, because I think that the class is many more times easier for you when the navigation comes without even thinking about it as much as possible. Okay? And ultimately, remember, the best way to learn any of this stuff is to just go and start clicking things, right? Start playing. You're not going to break it, okay? But it can, especially when you're doing an assignment, right? You don't want to have to look for where it is, where you have to put it, all that stuff. You want to be able to focus on the assignment itself. So hopefully we'll get familiar with this. How many people is this your first class that you're going to attend? Welcome. Beautiful. Okay, so our class, guys, is basically based in Blackboard. This is our medium that we're going to be using. Good morning. Good morning. And it's very easy once you get used to it, let's say. The navigation is very easy. Okay. This is our home screen. Yeah. This is our home screen, which really doesn't amount to a hill of beans. This is the important screen over here. The navigation menu, okay? This is from where you're going to be jumping off to different places, if you will. Okay? So that's our course number over there, 1101-63279 for my in-person people, and for my online people, you know what your course number is, hopefully. Anyway, so this is Comp 1, there's Comp 1 and Comp 2, okay? And we are going to be going over the basics of the essay, okay? So let's look at our navigation menu, okay? As I said, this is the home page. How do we know? Because it says home page. There you go. If you have, especially if you have multiple classes, make sure you're in the right class. That happens too, right? Okay. I have a bunch of classes too. If I click on one, fortunately, I have all Comp 1, so they all look the same, but they're different for me. Okay. So here's our layout, guys. And like I said, this is the navigation menu. You can get anywhere you need to get in here. okay? You really can't get lost because you can just hit the back button. That's kind of easy. So again, this is our home page, all right? And let's look at the About the Instructor tab. Just so you know me, that's me. My office is literally diagonally right across the hall, 652. Okay. I have office hours an hour before this class and an hour after this class, right? So from 9 to 10 and from 11:30 to 12:30, I have open office hours. Okay. I'll also have 2 hours virtual, where you can click a link and come see me in Blackboard's collaborating software, okay, which I'll show you in a second. Right. And those hours will be Wednesday and Thursday afternoons from 3:30 to 4:30. Okay. Now those obviously are not required. That's if you have a question that, you know, whatever, that I can't answer in email, you want more detail or whatever, okay, you can hop in and see me. Now, if you're going to come in the virtual hours, I would ask you to email me and tell me to make sure that I'm on it when you're on, okay? Because I'll have it on, but I might not be sitting in front of my screen. Okay? So if you tell me you're coming, I'll know. So as I said, guys, Monday is you guys, my class, 10 to 11:20, and that's my only live class. All the rest of it is doing online stuff and office hours. Okay. So this is the About Me tab, and again, my office is diagonally right across the hall. If you found the classroom, you can find my office. Okay. Luckily, they're close to each other. So the Announcements tab, this is, as you can see, this is a tab that you're going to want to check regularly. And because we meet so few times, that means every chance you can get, because this is where things will be put to inform you of what's going on or any changes, things like that. Okay. And as you can see, anybody go through these yet? Okay, class just open, right? So when you get a chance, as soon as you can, start going through these. This is just basically the greeting. Okay. And it talks about one of the places you need to check out right away is called the Welcome Quiz. Anybody take this yet? Okay. The Welcome Quiz is simply a quiz that lets us know that you're here. Okay. We have a drop period where in certain circumstances students will register for the class and for whatever reason not show up. So in the first week of class, we have to weed those out because we have a lot of requests for seats and whatnot. And we can't really have somebody taking up a seat if they're not going to be in class. Okay? So we have this no-show thing going where, generally speaking, a class will have some kind of a quiz. Usually it's just a did you read the syllabus type quiz, right? And by you taking this quiz, it indicates that you're not a no-show. Okay? And showing up also indicates that. So if for some reason you don't take the quiz, and you're here and you scanned in this morning, or when we're finished, you're here. You're officially here. Okay? This is more for the online students because I don't get to see them. I don't get to know for a fact, you know, that they're participating. Okay? But it's also some free points too, so don't not take it. You lose points. You won't lose points. You won't get points. Okay? And every point is sacred. Okay? You want to get as many points as you can. That's the goal, right? How many here would like to get an A or B in this class? Those of you who don't have your hand up, what do you want? I'd like a D. Everybody wants an A or B, I would hope, right? Good gracious. Yeah. So one of the ways we get an A or a B is to get as many points as possible. You're going to see essentially there are two categories of points. Okay? There's the quiz/assignment points. You only have one quiz, so they're assignment points. And these are things like rough drafts that we do, or if I say to you in class one day, maybe, hey, take out a piece of paper and write down blah, blah, blah. That's an assignment level piece of work. Okay? Our essays themselves that we're going to be doing, we do 3. Okay? The final versions of those essays will be what we call essay points, which which are worth more, which I'll show you in detail in just a second. So there's lots of opportunity for points, guys, and in a class of this nature, we said A is very fast moving, right? And B, it's relatively short, and it's all the same material, okay? So this is a boot camp class that will give you a friendly warning if you don't have the time for this, guys. It's no disgrace to drop it and take it some other time, okay? It's not going to be hard, but it will require your time and effort, okay? You know, and if you're working or you have a family and you're just busy, right? We're all busy, we all have lives. Check it out in your head before you commit, because we move fast and there's a lot of work. It's worth it because, you know, at the end of basically half the time, you're getting full credit for the class, so it's worth it, but you need to be able to dedicate the time. As I said, I mean, it's no disgrace not to have the time. I don't have the time. I wouldn't have the time for it myself. Okay? You just need to be aware of that. Okay? Self-aware of that, I should say. Okay? As a result of the class being so short, guys, we don't look back. In other words, there's no makeup stuff, so you need to stay on it. Right? I'm going to show you in a second where everything is. Okay? And as of now, everything that we're doing is up on the class calendar. So you can see as of today what we're doing. So if you know, for example, that you're not going to be here one day or going on vacation somewhere, you have an opportunity to work in advance. Okay? It's going to be hard. I'm not saying it's not going to be hard, but it can be done. Okay? So you won't be able to turn it in until the deadline, but you'll be able to work in advance. Okay? So that's kind of how we eliminate, I guess, you know, being late for things, for foreseen things. Obviously, if something unforeseen happens, then we can work it out somehow. But for normal times, that's how we work. So if we keep looking up at the announcements, okay, this second announcement, this is where you're going to go. Remember when I said I had 2 virtual hours, student office hours? This is where you're going to go to click on to come into the virtual office hours. Okay? So if one day in a couple weeks you decide you need to talk to me at Wednesday at 4 o'clock, shoot me an email, and then at Wednesday at 4 o'clock you just come in and click on that link. It's not live right now, but it will be. Okay? And it will tell you, you know, it will take you into what you need to be. And there will be information for dial-up and PIN number if you use, you know, it does, but we have to put that up there. All right, moving forward, this is the whole COVID business. I'm sure you're sick of hearing about COVID, we all are. Okay, but it's still there. Right? It's not running rampant like it was a year ago, but it's not going anywhere. We're going to be dealing with that for years. Okay? Yes, it will be relegated like the flu, right? You'll get a flu shot, you'll get a COVID shot. Same idea, I guess. I don't know. I'm just guessing. But at any rate, they take it, we take it, we all take it, meaning us and you as well, very seriously, okay? If you're sick, don't come. Because I don't want to get sick. Sick, do you? Yeah, none of us want to get sick. Okay? So if you're sick, don't be a hero. Stay home. Okay? As I said in the beginning, these lectures will be put up on the web page, on our site, and I'll show you where in a second. So you'll be able to see what we said in class that day. Okay? If you're healthy, come. Right? But if you're not healthy, don't come. And they're very rigid with this, guys. There's still signs at every doorway. You can't. If you've been exposed to it, if anybody you know has been exposed to it, you know, et cetera, et cetera. And we don't take any chances. Okay?
Good morning.
Hi.
Sorry. I was in the wrong class. I'm so sorry.
Welcome.
Thank you.
I mean, me too, guys. If I get up in the morning and I don't feel well, I can't come in here. Okay, so this applies to all of us, all right? What you're going to do with the scanning business, okay, if you haven't scanned yet, you can scan when we're finished. It's no big deal. You can do it whenever you want, okay? you're basically entering your name, the date, and where you're sitting in this particular class. Okay? You don't have to sit there every time, but you do have to mark where you're sitting. Okay? And you'll see when you scan, there's a seating chart in there, right? I hope it was, wasn't it? Okay. And you'll put your seat. That is for contact tracing. Okay? That is not for attendance. The only time I will ever look at that, I'll look at it this week because it tells me who is here and who doesn't want to be dropped as a no-show. But beyond that, the only time I'll ever look at that is if we have an illness situation, right? And they do that because in the very beginning we didn't have contact tracing. We just, if somebody had COVID, the whole class had to, whatever. But now, I guess they figure we can narrow it down, right? So if somebody has COVID and they were sitting here today, then we only have to worry about, immediately around them. That's their thinking. Okay? And I guess it's working because we're still doing it. So the idea is we don't have to, cancel the whole business. Okay? That being said, we only meet 4 or 5 times, so I hope it never happens because we're already, at a premium for time. Okay? So you can read this in detail on your own. I'm not going to go through that. It's just basically saying everything I just said in detail, more detail than you probably ever wanted. Okay? There's some important links and contacts for you. Okay? There's the spring calendar. Obviously, click on it, we'll open up and show you the calendar. Oops, that's nice. It worked yesterday. All of it. It's supposed to take you to these links. Yeah, there we go. That one. So there's Blackboard support. Okay. There's the one-stop information center. There's the Learning Success Center. This is where the tutors live. And this is the library. Okay. Here's the number for the IT student help desk. All right. So, right in your announcements in the beginning. All right. We have an email format, folks, because I get a lot of email over the course of the day. And I don't know if you noticed on the sheet that said about your instructor, email is the best way to reach me because I have it on my phone. And when you email me, it beeps. I can see it right away. Okay? You're welcome to call me. I might get back to you on it. No, I don't even know where my phone is at this point. I know where it is, but it's unplugged. But anyway, it emails me and tells me I have a call. So either way, I get an email. But students are the priority, guys. It says in the regulations that we can take up to 24 hours to get back to you. But if you can imagine 24 hours in this class is a long time, okay? So I'm usually back to you right away, unless I'm in a class. That's about the only time when I won't get back to you pretty quickly. If you don't hear back from me and it's like a normal time of the day, there's a problem. Their policy or something. Okay? Because I always have the phone. Okay? But I need to know you're a student, right? As opposed to a vendor or a colleague or an administrator. I need to know you're a student, and that's why we have this little format. Okay? It's just your last name, class, and whatever the topic is. Okay. Now, you don't even have to do a class number. You can just say hybrid, because I only have one hybrid class. That's you guys. Okay. Or Monday, whatever, anything to indicate today. Then I'll know what class we're in. Because remember, I have 4 classes. Those classes have close to, I think, to 30 students each. Okay. That's a lot. And I need to be able to identify it. So please, please, please stick with the format. If it's here, you can come in and check it. It's last name, class, identifying class, and topic. Okay? If you're dual enrollment and you cannot attend the beginning, this really doesn't apply to you guys because you're here. But I know there's at least 2 that this falls for because I got an email from them. Basically, you just have to self-identify. If you're in another school or whatever and you can't come today because the other school is, I don't know, graduating or whatever, I get it. Okay? And you just have to tell me. If you don't tell me and you're not here and you didn't hear me say take the welcome quiz and you need to go online and do anything, what's going to happen? You're going to get dropped. Okay? You can get back in. It's just a pain in the butt. And If somebody catches that open seat before you do that, you could lose your seat. So you want to make sure that I know that you're here. And for those who came in late, there's a QR code on the wall back there by that door. Okay? At some point during class, before or after, or whatever, scan that with your camera and then just answer the questions. Okay? And that records the fact that you were here. It's going to ask you where you're sitting, so kind of pay attention. You'll see a seating chart with numbers in there. Okay? Just make sure you do that at some point. Anybody have any questions? I'm doing all the talking. Anybody have any questions or comments or anything? Not yet? Okay. Cool. Keep going. Now, what happens here, guys, is when I hear of an issue, okay, I'll put the issue in the announcement so that you can view the issue. Okay, for example, this email fix for Blackboard. We were having an issue, I don't know if it was last semester or the semester before, where for some reason they did an update on, I believe it did an update on Blackboard or one of the two, and it knocked out the safe, putting the Gwinnett Tech email address in the safe portion of the email program. So in other words, it was blocked. So any email that I would send you as a student would get blocked, and you wouldn't even know you got it. Okay? The fix to that is this. Now I will send you for a test, right? I don't think I sent an email yet, did I? Okay, I'm going to email you after class. And then you don't have to respond to it, but check. Give me like a half an hour, and then check at some point today. And if you don't see an email from me, you need to apply this. And it's easy, it's not hard. Just follow the instructions. Step 1, step 2. For your information, Chrome is the official browser. Okay? Does that mean other browsers don't work? No. I mean, I use Safari. Okay? So Safari definitely works, and I know Firefox works. Probably they all work to a degree, but the one that works the most is Chrome. And if you have a technical issue and whatnot, and you have to get involved with support, that's going to be one of the first questions they ask you. What browser are you using? If you say whatever, they're going to say, okay, switch to Chrome, try it again, and call it back. And in 7 cases out of 10, it fixes the problem. I don't know what kind of witchcraft it is, but I guess all the installs and modules were made for Chrome, so it's the most perfect one. And Chrome is free, you know, you can just go up on the internet and get a copy. It's not a big deal. Okay. But if you do have that problem, again, wait about a half hour, give me a chance to collect myself, and then I'll shoot an email to everybody through Blackboard. If you don't get that email, say sometime today, all right, then come into your event. Just work through these steps. It's easy. So this is what I do, guys. When I hear of things, I put them up here. Okay. This is another one. We had